Greetings, welcome back. I am glad you're here, and I hope you will like and subscribe and bear with me as these videos are not getting as good as I would like. I'm having some equipment failures and some production errors, but I am trying nonetheless, as evidenced by my being here. What do we do when we have the inevitable bad day as we age? Well, let me tell you from some personal experience about my bad day yesterday. It started a couple of days ago. I went down to South Florida, which is my original home, to catch up with an old friend of mine that I'm hoping to integrate back into my life a little more. To look around, I may relocate back there again, and take care of some odds and ends, and celebrate pre-birthday that's coming up. But today is Friday morning, so Wednesday I got down there. The ride was uneventful from Central Florida, where I live now, down to South Florida. Traffic is what it is down there. It's always a zoo. And checked into a name brand hotel that said they had been recently renovated. Yeah, I won't mention any names, but it does start with the letter M, as I recall. And I've stayed there many times in the past. I had some trouble getting a reservation through them online at 4 o'clock in the morning on my way down. Then again, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Then I spoke to one of their highly qualified agents on the phone who couldn't find the hotel in Florida, but she said she had something comparable in Arizona. Only problem is I'm in Florida, I'm not in Arizona, so that was always fun. But then I managed to luck out and see an old friend of mine at the front desk who more or less took care of me. Now, the hotel was renovated recently. I want you to keep that in mind. That's a phrase, recently renovated. You would think the toilet would flush properly, wouldn't you? I don't know, maybe that's just me. I hate traveling. I really do hate traveling. I'm never as comfortable as I am in my own space. And my own space up here in Central Florida sucks. Name of the complex here I won't mention. It's newly built and poorly built. That should probably be on the sign. We're newly built, poorly built. Somebody must have got greased here to pass this place. There is absolutely no soundproofing in the walls. I can hear the guy next door farting. I mean, you know, that shows absolutely no soundproofing. But let's get back to the hotel. Okay, so I check into the room. You would think there would be plastic cups or something in the bathroom area in case you might actually want to brush your teeth or rinse. Nah, not a chance. So you use your hand or something else. You make do. Luckily, I had some plastic cups left over from a previous trip in my bag, so I used my own. Soundproofing in these places is not a high priority neither, I'm noticing. No matter where you go, I'm sure you've run across this. You're trying to get some sleep at night. You know, maybe you're alone like I was, and you just had a long day and you want to try to get some sleep. There is always a guy next door that thinks he's a sexual wonder machine that's trying to knock off a piece all night, and his girlfriend is encouraging him. Yeah, you're wonderful. Yeah, you're sucking, you know it. Anyway, but so they're always next to me. I could check into a place in the middle of the Sahara Desert where there's only 2 rooms, and I guarantee you that guy would be next door to me. But moving on, so I met the lady I'd like to meet up with, and we had a nice dinner, and we caught up a little bit, and we were going to do it the next day as well. I get back to the hotel room. I know I had some stomach issues brewing, and I am known to have stomach issues over the years. And sure enough, they started brewing. And I started getting blood out of an area I'm not particularly familiar with blood coming out of, so I was of concern. So I cut my stay short and headed back. Now, it took about 3.5 to 4 hours to get down there. Once I started the road trip back, I encountered every possible thing you can encounter on a road trip to slow you down. The turnpike was a mess. Even despite what Google says, and Google lately has been like the proverbial broken clock. It's right twice a day. Every time I got on, maybe an exit or two, I had to get off. Get back on, another exit or two, get back off. So that was no great thrill to do, especially when you're not feeling 100%. And it took me about 6 hours to get back. The reason I'm telling you all of this is because this was what I would consider a bad day. I had to cut my plans short to see people I wanted to see, and traffic was a nightmare. And even back here in Central Florida, one of the main roads was backed up because of construction, which is always the case no matter where you live. The point I'm trying to make is you just find a way to get through it. You had bad days when you were 20, you had bad days when you were 30, you had bad days when you were 40. You didn't treat them quite as seriously, obviously. We treat them more seriously now because we feel what's it leading to. Well, I can tell you that today I do feel considerably better. I can't maybe speak particularly well, as you can see, but I do feel considerably better. I had somewhat of a night's sleep, and I'm just taking it as another day as I go forward in my life, being almost 74 as I am, and I'm just saying to you, if you have the inevitable bad day, which we all do have, find a way to just muddle through it, get through it somehow, do whatever you have to do, and just go about your business, because it's really no worse than it was, unless you're in medical hell or really an emergency situation. And just do it as another day in your life and try to get on with it. I also want to comment, which I've been meaning to do, about some of the other things in the buying experience today. When you go into any major store, like I said, realize that your dollars are important. I have some friends of mine that I've worked with over the years, one named Perry, another one named Alan. We all worked in the TV and appliance business together. We used to make jokes out of the situations with customers. But we were in a position then where we saw customers because they had no alternative. Well, you still have an alternative. You can go into an actual store, touch it, feel it, have somebody demonstrate it possibly, and take it home with you the same day, as I've mentioned. To just give in to Amazon or online, I think is just giving in to mediocrity. They're not going to be able to explain anything to you about how it works necessarily, because they don't necessarily have one in front of them, or they've maybe never even seen the device that they're selling you. So just realize that the convenience you're accepting to not going to a store is costing you, in effect, because you can't get the information you need. Nobody reads an owner's manual anymore. I do occasionally, and I have to download it because they're not usually in the box like they used to be. But just realize that if somebody gives you really poor treatment in a store or something like that, open your mouth and say something. I did at the hotel. I said to them, "You got to be kidding me. They renovated my rear end. You maybe threw a coat of paint on it, but you didn't improve anything." And also back at the hotel, nobody's paying the same rate as you are. Have you ever noticed that? Just in passing. But I'm trying to get together a video to explain to you about your iPhone or your tablet or your computer, the things that drive you crazy about it. I'm going to try to go through a couple of the more common issues that people run across. When you're over 55 or 60, you realize that the tech items that you're playing with today are not native to you. You didn't necessarily grow up with anything comparable. We had dial phones, then beepers, and then cell phones that were the size of a small car. And now the cell phone you have, which I feel is the most dangerous device that man has ever created, by the way, is running your life and ruining your life, possibly. I will cover that in a coming up video within the next few days, I'm hoping. Today's video was basically just a rant to get out of my system. Again, it's very poor quality. I'm not overly well spoken today. Not that I ever really am, but I just want you to know when you have a bad day or somebody's jerking your chain, don't just accept it. Try to get through it. And if you feel that something is necessary to respond, do it. Like in a shopping environment, when you're having a bad day and Google doesn't care about you. They don't even know you exist. They just want your data. So forget about that. That's never going to be rectified. It's going to get worse and worse. There are other apps, I think, Waze and some of the others. I don't know them any better or any worse, but I know Google yesterday was having one of its all-time worst days with me. And I've been using their maps as opposed to Apple Maps, which are even more horrendous, in my opinion, than their maps. And I'd rather put my finger in the air or ask a stranger than use Apple Maps. Putting my finger in the air would be checking the wind and seeing what direction. That's old school. Anyway, today is hopefully a better day for you, for me, for everybody that is in our situation. I'm sorry for the weirdness of this video, but I felt I had to get it out of my system. The people I missed in South Florida, I am very sorry I missed. The one lady I did run into who's an old friend, I had a very nice evening with her, even though she felt I was a little uncomfortable, and she was right, I was uncomfortable. But it was just great to see some old familiar faces again, and I'm proud of the fact that I got through a terrible day yesterday, and I hope that if you're having a terrible day today, which I'm hoping you're not, you find a way to get through it and we try it again tomorrow. I'm the last person in the world that's an optimist, but there are better days ahead for all of us, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, share with a friend. We'll see you later.